So you're also an award-winning fashion tech entrepreneur. I have a feeling you've had many lives within this life, which got you to where you are today. Would you mind sharing a bit of your professional path?
So I'm a first generation Indian American who grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I went to university. After I graduated, I worked for an emerging designer in Chicago. And then I went to London, where I was part of the Condé Nast College of Fashion Design. Came back to Chicago and realized I have to move to New York, the fashion capital of America. And I moved without my parents' blessings. I come from a very conservative Indian Catholic family. So I left and I couch surfed. I slept on a floor at a Brooklyn apartment. I was basically homeless for
Wow.
about a year and I did odd jobs. I realized that if I want to start something, I need support. And if I'm not going to get that from my family, then I need to build community around me. And so I immersed myself into the startup ecosystem. I applied to multiple programs. And yeah, I started to get accepted into all these programs. It was amazing because in these groups, I was able to find my advisors, mentors. I would really lean on them to get their perspective on how I should strategically move forward with my business, who I should talk to. And yeah, and that's really how I got to where I am right now.
They say that there are three pillars in a professional person's life. So you have health, relationships, and wealth. Like everyone wants to make it, but there are things come before that. So first of all, you took action. I see from what you're saying, you didn't have anything. You were almost homeless. You started taking action, going to these conferences, building your network. It was kind of an MBA or a PhD in life. What did you do to continue believing in yourself when you were so low?
I think I'm a very relentless person. I never want to give up. And I always have, even when it gets really hard, there have been days where I like, you know what, it's just none of this is worth it because I'm just completely miserable and I want to just give up. I've been there before where I just worked at a corporation. I hated my life. I felt like I wasn't producing meaningful work and I wasn't advancing myself. That was the worst time of my life. And so like every time I take time to really reflect on it, and be like, wow, I became a Brooks Brothers Gold Prize winner. I did a massive rebrand and relaunch with the Times Square billboard last year. So like when I take time to sit down and reflect on it, I'm like, okay, I am making progress, but taking time to pause and reflect really it gives you a big vision that you're moving forward. You're moving the needle.
As long as you're moving forward, no matter how slow, then you're doing things right. And truth or myth, is it harder to succeed as a woman than if you were a man?
Truth, yeah, I do think so.
People who supported you the most, would you say they're mostly women, mostly men, a bit of both?
There have been men who have been supportive for sure, but mostly women. Maybe because I'm in all these fellowships and programs that are geared towards females.
What's your opinion on AI and how important is it to integrate it in your business?
You'll fail if you don't have AI. That's what I believe. You have to have some sort of AI. I strongly believe that you need two things to stand out. Is one, you need innovation, and two, whether it's AI or science backed, and then two, you need killer branding.
And when we say branding, we also include the support and the customer service, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You're not learning if you're not failing, and it's okay to fail.
The most valuable advice you received while growing your company?
You just keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, because something will work out. You just can't give up. And that's when it clicked to me that there's so many moments in my life I feel like I'm just failing, but you're not learning if you're not failing, and it's okay to fail.
That's so wise, and that's so true. It's not only okay to fail. I feel it's the only road to success is through failure. Otherwise, if you don't fail, it means you're doing something everybody does already.
Yeah, and it'll transform you. You'll become a better leader. You'll become a better founder.
Absolutely. And even in relationships, a lot of people are afraid of hardships or difficult conversations. But if you actually have them and have them wisely, it can help you grow the relationship. People think that it's going to end it. No, you end it the moment you stopped expressing yourself, and then it builds up until you explode. You grow through hardship.